Okay, part two of this small series. I hope it's small. How do we make the drawing? So let's just go. By the way, some of you gave me configs in which you just had a single extruded shape. That's not a config. Please have a look at the brief. Okay, please read the brief very, very carefully. I would suggest reading the brief the moment you get it. Pour through it. Write down if you want what's required. Again, ask questions. Like here I've said, I've given you a list of features that I want in this thing. It must be demoldable, must have a split line, a thin wall, mounting holes, that's important. 2 configurations within the part file, each showing a different version. Now, different version does not mean that you just show me that you know where the feature is and how to create it. In other words, the config, but that you have 2 different versions of the same design with demoldability, mounting holes, split lines, thin walls, finishing details, etc. Okay. The other thing that many of you did not look at is in the outputs, 1x 3D CAD model, 1x A1 drawing sheet. A1 drawing sheet, not A2, not A3. Okay. Please read the brief carefully. All right. So let's create a drawing and just see where some of you went wrong. So I'm going to say make drawing from parts. I'm going to select A1. Some of you have given me an A1 named sheet, but it's actually an A2 sheet. Okay, so in the bottom here, it'll say A1, but when I look at it, I'll see straight away that it's A2. The way to check yourself, and you're going to have to redo those sheet formats, is if you go to properties here, if you go to custom sheet size, an A1 is always 820, which is double of 420, which is what the width of an A3 is. Okay, so if it says 594 by 420, then it's an A2 size. If it says 820 by 594, it's A1. If it says, and here you can just double up these numbers, so 594, so double that up and then put 820 in that size, then you'll understand. Okay, so that's not right. You can always change the size of your sheet, as I've shown you before, by just having the browse thing open, say A2, apply changes. All right, so I will see straight away that this is A2. Some of you have got, as I said, A1 in there. I also pick up straight away that you've scaled down 1 to 2 instead of 1 to 1, because you wouldn't be able to fit it on the sheet size anymore. So it's easy to spot. Going back to A1, apply changes. Okay, so we're going to drop this in. A lot of you have dropped the top view in and then given me what looks like, sorry, that's supposed to be a top view. You've dropped the top view is the front view and then the other view is in. All right, so this is first angle. That symbol there indicates first angle, which means that should be front view. That should be top view. And that should be left view. If that is not what you have, you can change it by going here. You can see it says front. It'll change the views for you. Okay, so there's no ways that you cannot understand this. That is the view from the top. That's why it's called the top view. That's the view from the front, although obviously you could have chosen that as the front view, but that makes more sense. And that is the left view. Okay, then as to dimensioning, I asked for 3 overall dimensions. If you only 3 overall dimensions, if you gave me more, I marked you down because I asked for only 3 overall dimensions. There are only 3 overall dimensions possible in any object. It's width, depth, and height. So there we go. I want to see that you can follow instructions. So when I say only 3, I mean only 3. Okay, and then in this one here, it would be the height. Okay, and that's an odd height. That means because I've changed my design. So I'd have to go back at my design and look and see that should be about 25 instead. So that's what you should have, just those 3. If you have any more, you can have another view in here. I think I'd said somewhere that the isometric view is fine. I mean, you can just add a view in here. So you can just go like this, projected view. That's not a problem. I don't mind that at all. But these three should just have the overall dimensions. What some of you have started, I mean, if you're going to give me just overall dimensions, then don't give me any other dimensions unless you first have, and in this case you shouldn't have anything in any case, but unless you first have your datums in place. So datum feature is going to be this line here, but in fact that's going to have to be a center line. So you're going to create center line. Just to show you, this can be a bit tricky. So center line, I could just click on this and say select view. It might give me one. It seems not to have. So what you've got to do then is you've got to select. You can select. In fact, you can select here this one instance where you can select a tangent line. These are tangent lines. I'll explain that in a minute. And then go to center line. So make sure that they're obviously the right ones. And then say select view. That'll give you the vertical center line, which you can then drag out. And that'll become your datum feature. Okay, so that's datum feature number 1. That'll be that one there. That's A. Now we need datum feature number 2. So before you can put any internal dimensions in, you have to make sure you've got your datums in. I'm not going to accept anything else. This is GD&T. Plenty of videos on GD&T. This is the standard around the world. You must understand how to use this. Okay, so let's put in another center line. So I'm not going to click on center line. I'm just going to select two lines which are easy to select, 1 and 2. Okay, those are selected. Then I'm going to say center line and then say select view, and then it puts one in. Okay, and then I can just drag this out. And then per my other videos, you're going to put CL at the ends of just the center lines, not of any other internal center lines, just of the major center lines. And then you're going to create a datum feature from that, because it's a symmetrical part, so that's where the datum feature should be. And then that would be your datum feature number 3. That's the parting line. That's the obvious parting line. Now you can put dimensions in. And they better be, please, position dimensions first. Position dimensions 261, okay, and then we want another position dimension, which is that one to that one. All right, if it's doing that, it's because I didn't grab the right arm of these center marks. So make sure they're both the horizontal arms, not one vertical. Oops, it's done it again. Let's try that again. So horizontal, doesn't like it. Let's try, nope, doesn't like it. Okay, so sometimes it's a bit of a problem. We might be able to grab the center of that to the center of that. There we go. Okay. Right, so once you have the position dimensions, then you can put in the size dimension. So please don't go, I've got a size dimension and I'm okay. No, you aren't. You are only okay when you have the position dimensions, and those position dimensions are based off of the datum. Then you can put this nice, easy to put in dimension. But in fact, this dimension is not right. There is no such thing as diameter 11.8 on this drawing. All of these internal lines, every single internal line that you see here is not a feature. It is not something you can dimension or should dimension. They are all tangent lines. So let's just right click this. What you should do is go to tangent edge, go to tangent edges removed, and that will give you an idea of what you may dimension. Okay, so in this case I'm wrong. You can actually dimension there. I'm not going to be that strict, but you should actually now in your new drawing create a section view through here. But please do not dimension anything inside here. And then if you have a triangle, you may not. It is completely illegal to dimension a line segment. That is a line segment. What you have here is a triangle with corners in it. So you have to please mark. Using this command, the point. You have to mark the virtual sharp. So click on those two, put in virtual sharp. Okay, 1, 2. I'm showing you this. I've shown you this in other videos, but I'm showing you this because some of you have gone about straight into dimensioning line segments, and that's just not okay. All right, so that's what you dimension. You dimension the base and the height of a triangle, and after, by the way, you've introduced the position. There's the position there. Okay, so it's centered is fine, and these size dimensions, that's the base. Oops. So that's the base and the height. That's how you dimension a triangle, base and height, unless it's equilateral, in which case you can just do one. But you must have position dimension in place. Okay, so I hope that helps. But of course, in this drawing that you did, this last drawing should have none of these. I'm just pointing out that I do not want to see any dimension whatsoever. Like some of you gave me the handle dimension, the width of the handle, which is impossible to do in this view because it's on a taper. So is it at that point or is it at that point? These are two different dimensions. Which is it? So you can't just give me one and say, I've got a dimension. You're going to have to create a section through here and describe the base thing, or describe these curves first. Okay, so that's getting complex. So really, that's why I'm asking you just to give me basic dimensions for now. And in this latest project, I think I've asked for just the position and size dimensions of the fixing features. I can't remember, but I do not want you to dimension the entire outside part because it's too complex for now. Okay, and then I don't think there was anything else other than one or two of you still don't have your name filled in over here. Yes, and then there is one big issue is that you are naming your project after, you're naming your files after the project, and then SolidWorks doesn't open. I'll show you that in a separate video.